Hi, I'm Paul. We're doing Leetcode must know interview questions. Today's challenge is text justification. It has a rating of hard, and it is hard. Um, in fact, it's really too hard to try and like code it on the fly. It's probably too long as well. But if you get a question like this at an interview, you're either at a very selective company or you're very unlucky. So let's see what we have to do here, and then we'll look at the code. The code I already did the code, but we'll review it. We'll review the solution. Given an array of strings, words, and a width, max width, format the text such that each line has exactly max width characters and is fully justified, right, left and right justified. Pack as many words as you can into each line. Pad extra spaces when necessary so that each line has exactly max width characters. Extra spaces between words should be distributed as evenly as possible. If the number of spaces on a line does not divide evenly between words, the empty slots on the left will be assigned more spaces than the slots on the right. Okay, what does that mean? Well, this one, for example, example one. So we get an array of words and it comes out like this, right justified and left justified. And there's extra padding, there's extra spaces between the words. And because they don't divide evenly, the extra spaces, you get more spaces on the left. So let's see, what is this one? 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Actually, those divide evenly. This one doesn't. So you get two spaces between example and of, and then you just get one space between of and text. Let's look at this one. That's 3 and 3. Okay, yeah, we'll come back to that. Finally, for the last line of text, it should be left justified. No extra spaces between the words, because we're out of words. So something like this, shall be, there's no extra spaces between shall and be. There are extra spaces at the end. So the last line is left justified. Yeah, okay, this is important here too. The second line is also left justified because there's only one word. So if we find a case where a line has one word, that's all that'll fit on the line, then there's no way to right and left justify that. So we left justify it, and we'll just live with the extra spaces on the right. All right, let's try to walk through the solution here. I mean, the key thing here is just doing look aheads. Whenever we try to add another word, we got to do a look ahead and see what is going to happen when we add that word. So we've got some variables that we need. Current line start. That's an index. It's an index of the first word in the line, an index into the words array. Number of words in the current line, initially 0. Current line length, initially 0. The return parameter is a list of strings, so we are going to create that here, and then we're going to loop through the words array. All right. First thing, for each word, we're going to increment the number of words in the current line, and we're going to compute the look ahead line length. What is the line length going to be if we try to add this word? and that is equal to the current line length plus the length of the word that we're adding plus the number of words currently in the line minus 1. That accounts for the number of spaces, and we're going to assume that they're single spaces between the words that are currently in the line. So, for example, if there were 2 words in the current line, that comes out to be 1. We need 1 space between those words. There's 3 words, it comes out to be 2. All right. Compute the look-ahead line length. Now, if the look-ahead line length is exactly equal to the max width, then we're going to use a helper function here to join the line with spaces to produce a justified line. And the parameters that we pass in are the words array, the index of the current line start, the word that we're going to start the line with, I, which is the word that we're going to end the line with, and the number of spaces, which is I minus the current line start. That's going to come out to be 1 less than the number of words in the line. Because it works out exactly, we just need 1 space between each word. Let's take a quick look at the method signature for this helper method, and we'll look through it in more detail after we go through the main routine. But what gets passed in here is, again, the words array, the index in the words array of the start word, the index in the words array of the end word, and the number of spaces that we need in the line. And that's going to return a correctly formatted, justified line. So if we've filled out the line exactly, we're going to call the method. We're going to get the formatted line back in ANS answer, add it to the result list, and then we're going to reinitialize some variables. So current line start is going to be I. It's going to be the next word. Wait. Current line start is, sorry, I'm in the wrong place here. Yeah, we're going to get the answer back. We're going to add it to the array list. Result. We're going to set the current line start to I plus 1, which is the next word. The number of words in the current line will be 0, and the current line length will be 0. We're starting fresh, new line. All right, here's another possibility. We try to add a word to the line, and it's too long. All right, so we've got to stop here and format a line. We can't add this word, but we're going to format what we have. So we call the helper function. We pass the words array. We pass the index of the current line start word. We pass I minus 1. We can't add the word at index I because it's too long. So the last word in this line is going to be at I minus 1, and the number of spaces that we need is max width minus the current line length. Okay, we'll get the answer back, add it to the result list. Our current line start will be I. That's the word that we tried to add but couldn't because it was too long. Number of words in the current line will be 1. And the current line length will be the length of the word that we added. The third possibility is that if we add the current word at index I that it is less than max width. If that's the case, then we increment the current line length to add the length of the current word and just go back up to the top and read the next word. Okay. When we fall out of that for loop, that means we don't have any words left. So then we hit this if statement. If num words current line is greater than 0. So we don't have any words left, but do we have any words in the current line? And if we do, we call the helper method again with the words array, the index of the first word in the line, the index of the last word in the array, and the number of words in the current line minus 1. Again, we're just accounting there for any spaces that we need between words. This line is going to be left justified. So we don't need extra spaces between words. All right. We get the line back formatted, but we may not have filled out the line completely. You know, it may be something like, let me move this over again. It may be a last line like this, where we're just out of words, but we still need more spaces to fill out the line. So in that case, we are going to append spaces. How many spaces? Well, it's going to be max width minus the current line length minus any spaces that we used between words. It seems like it should work without this last subtraction, but trust me, it doesn't. So we add the extra spaces to fill out the line, and then add the line to the result list and return the result list. All right, now let's look at this method. This is the method that formats the justified lines. Here's the input. The words array, index of the first word, index of the last word in the line, and the number of spaces that we need. We're going to compute the number of words in the current line. That is, we're not passing in a list of words, we're just passing in a start and end index. Remember here that when we have space to add a word to a line, all we do is add the length of the word to the current line length. We're not storing the word anywhere. Okay, compute the number of words in the line. Initialize a string builder. Now we're going to loop from the start index to one less than the end index. We're going to append the word at index I to the line. We're going to decrement the number of words in the current line. We're keeping a running count on that. And then we're going to figure out how many spaces do we need. The number of spaces that we need, or the number of spaces that we currently need, would be the number of spaces that we need in the line divided by the number of words in the line. We're going to do that as a double and round it up, because we want, if the number of spaces between words is not even, we want the maximum number of spaces to be on the left. So we'll take the number of current spaces, we'll do a short for loop to append those to the line. And then we'll subtract the number of spaces that we just added to the line from num spaces. All right. The last thing we do is the last word. We append the final word to the line. And if there are still spaces left, as in, let's see, this example here, if there's still spaces left, we have to put those in. And that's what this is. If there are still spaces left, then we have to put them in at the end of the line. And then we return the line. All right. That's it. I'm going to run this. Well, I mean, we can submit it because actually in this case, I already know that it works. So go ahead and submit later to that. And what did we get? Runtime. It's pretty fast. Okay. Okay, yeah, that's it. I mean, it's a hard problem. There's just a lot of things to keep track of. The key is process the input array one word at a time. Whenever we try to add a new word, we compute what would the line length be if we add this word? Is it going to be equal to the max width? Is it going to be greater than the max width? Is it going to be less than the max width? And then we proceed accordingly. Okay, we need one helper method. That helper method will do the line formatting. If we give it the array of words, the index of the start word, the index of the end word, and the number of spaces that we need in the line, it can figure out how to output a justified line. So that's it. Feel free to like, subscribe, and see you next time.